Got pretty frantic on the comms towards the end there. But it sounded like this was a success. Got everything we need to put this plan in motion. Ah, this place. Now my connect...
That's what it sounded.
No good.
But it's clear. Captain, we need to get these samples back to the lab and verify we'll be able to handle cleaning up the leeches as well as the terramorphs. But in the interim, do you think you could look into what we uncovered? See if you can turn up any information on who might have committed the attacks?
If it were me, I'd start at the scene of the crime. New Atlantis.
Thank you, Captain. Once you finish your investigation, we'll meet you outside the cabinet chambers. They're gonna want to hear this. Take care of yourself. No telling who might be involved.
Visiting Londinian has left me with a longing for an era. I did not think this was possible.
United Colony space. Maintain current course while we scan for contraband.
We got caught.
Be advised, you have been identified as a known criminal. Respond immediately. Our scan detected contraband on board. Copy that. Stay on course.
Outside the ship's cargo.
I asked my boss what they're doing to stop the new alien attacks on the city. He said top minds were on it. Sure hope they know what they're doing.
Risk.
Contrary to what you might have heard, UC security personnel are good people. And Sergeant Yumi just happens to be an old friend. I'm listening.
Greetings, citizen. Welcome to the UC.
Perhaps something you might be interested in.
Authorized personnel only. Your friend has to stay here.
Well, what a pleasant surprise. When I heard you and Hadrian were headed for Londinian of all places, I presumed you must be onto something big. Did you find what you were looking for? Good news, then. So, what exactly are you doing here? Plenty still to be done in defeating the Terramorphs, no? Did you? Well, I don't know what you think you heard on this recording, but I sincerely hope you didn't come to the wrong conclusions. After all, given the Cabinet's current state of anxiety, they might misinterpret such a discovery to mean I could have been involved with the attacks. Perhaps I can convince you to keep this among us. You want to hear the words, then? I did it. The Terramorph attacks on Tau Ceti, New Atlantis, my doing. Years of coordination between my associate and I, figuring out how to deploy the Lazarus plant's pollen outside of Londinian, learning to synthesize it, use it as a weapon. Now, being as clever as you are, I'm sure you have thoughts on why I might do such a thing. Not a bad thought. But no, the attacks were a correction. When I discovered the plant, I did consider handing over what I'd found, but we were at war. And I couldn't risk information that dangerous falling into the wrong hands. So I ordered the bombing of the Londinian spaceport, fixing two problems at once. Halting the spread of the city's Terramorph outbreak, and sealing away knowledge of the planet. used to cause even more death. I wasn't going to allow another dangerous variable to be added to an already catastrophic war. But then, as the war ended, my trial, my execution, and what did I get in return? Was there any effort? No. We were sacrificed when all we did was serve. I become a trusted advisor, having found Kaiser. And cement my new position of influence when I hand them the name of the person responsible. The dear departed Dr. Reginald Orlays, the associate who aided me all these years, and whom I... What luck he was stuck. It wasn't easy. But the beauty of being loathed is that people will do what they wanted to pretend I didn't exist. And so I used their blind eye to my advantage. Still, establishing a back channel to Orlays via the UC recovery teams was painstaking work. I've led campaigns less nerve-wracking. They believed they were luring in wanted criminals, but were in fact delivering precisely encoded slates, filled with instructions invisible to any, but they're dropped off at just the right moments to fall into the proper hands. Slow work. But as you can see, there are no heroes without a villain. I simply arranged, and we all. It's why I had Orlays reprogram Kaiser. Had that old machine guide you to where I found the plant all those years ago. I went to great lengths to and look at the results. I know for a fact the Cabinet's planning to honor both you and him. Isn't that preferable to languishing away in obscurity? With only the vague hope. You're being honored only because I arranged the situations where it could happen. Be grateful, and let's not forget the importance of our act, eliminating the terramorphs, securing knowledge of the Lazarus plant. What we've set in motion is going to protect thousands, maybe millions. I'm simply requesting one more life be protected. I've already sent along the evidence of Orlays' role in the attacks to the Cabinet, leaving out my... All I ask is that you confirm as much to the Cabinet. Tell them that it was Orlays, after all, I do still have a long list of threats to the UC. This needn't be the end of our good works together. Well, I do hope you'll keep the larger perspective in mind, Captain. We've done something great here.
Are you bad or evil, fam? This guy's gonna snake me, though. Oh no, he's gonna definitely snake me.
Authorized personnel only. Your friend has to stay here.
Bye for now. Something you need? So long. I have things for you.
Perfect timing. So on our end, good news. The microbe and the acyles are both as effective against heat leeches as they are against terramorphs.
Means he did plans your work for clearing those critters off our...
Considering what the Lazarus plant is capable of, I already sent along info to the Cabinet to get them up to speed. So what about your end? Any leads on who might have committed the attacks?
Orlays? Reginald Orlays? He did this? I didn't...
I don't know much about Orlays, but anyone with a sick mind like that needs to be tried for his crimes, and then dealt with appropriately.
Yeesh.
That's some impressive work. So then give us the rundown. Where's Orlays now? Were you able to bring him in? I see. It would have been good to be able to question him, but I've been in those situations. I'm sorry you had to go through it. Any idea why he might have done it? Or what he was doing with the plant? Another madman justifying butchery. Well, at least he won't be able to hurt anybody else now. Might be the best we could ask for, given the circumstances. So I guess there's nothing else to do but get this all in front of the cabinet. Unless there were other things we needed to discuss. This might be our last opportunity to talk things through before the cabinet weighs in on a decision regarding the Terramorphs.
Just send him out.
And here we go.
Welcome back, all of you. I wish we were meeting under better circumstances. But according to Hadrian's report, and the second one I just received, it seems the Terramorph attack on New Atlantis was no random occurrence, but a planned strike. Is what I'm reading here true?
My God.
An attack? Using Terramorphs? How is that possible?
You will all receive a full
Just
briefing
happened,
once
didn't it?
we're done here. So then, is what the second report claims correct? Did Reginald Orlays commit these attacks, Captain? Ve Victus? My father, what are you...
He did what?
What?
That's impossible. He doesn't have the kind of access to...
Clearly, he made his own access, Chief Sarkin. Madam President, I have been saying for years that not dealing with that man was gonna end in tragedy.
He's alive. Ve Victus is still alive. And you people, you have the nerve to sit there and call that a mistake. People have died. What the hell is wrong with you?
Enough! I hope everyone here understands that what has just been shared is a state secret of the highest order. This information does not leave this room. Now, that's quite the accusation you're leveling, considering Francois Sinon has not left containment for the better part of 2 decades. You have evidence to back this up?
It just transformed. A Terramorph out of thin air. An invisible weapon. No planet would be safe.
Heavens help us. Is that actually him?
I'd know that voice anywhere. That's Francois.
He knew they could do this, and said nothing.
He's a sociopath. Plain and simple, ma'am.
Officer, please collect that recording.
Yes, ma'am. Begging your pardon, Captain.
Can I have a contraband?
We'll,
back,
of
please?
course, be
Huh?
launching a full
Okay, yeah.
investigation into how this could have happened. Though I have little doubt the Admiral will be quick to share all he knows on the subject once confronted with that recording. Chief Yassine, Can you send one of your interrogators to have a little chat with the Admiral?
I'll issue the order immediately.
Good. Combined with everything else you all have uncovered. Well, I don't think the United Colonies can thank you enough. We failed the people of the colonies by not dealing with Vavictus sooner. I intend to rectify that mistake immediately.
Kill him, bro.
I'm inclined to agree, Captain. Now, with our villain unmasked, we can attend to the other matters at hand. With the threads you've brought together here, the Lazarus plant, the attacks, the heat leeches, the three of you have likely spared thousands of lives. But it now falls to the Cabinet to ensure this can never happen again. As such, the Cabinet will be securing the Lazarus plant on Londinian. All materials related to the plant will be classified to ensure no one else learns its true nature.
A sound decision, Madam President.
I'm glad you think so. So then, to our final topic. The Cabinet has agreed to implement a plan that will deal with the Terramorph, and now also Heat Leech presence on human worlds. In fact, we've already begun enacting measures to check all UC ports and settlements for undiscovered nests. But we all understand this is only a partial solution. The project we're embarking on will be a long and difficult.
Madam President, this microbe is clearly too much of a risk.
To someone with limited knowledge of biology, perhaps. The technology behind the microbe is solved science, Madam President. It isn't dangerous. Using it to wipe out the Terramorphs would be the quickest path to protecting humanity.
And fast results always lead to the best outcomes, don't they?
As you can see, there remains debate among the Cabinet. We were hoping your group might issue a recommendation. Major?
Yes, ma'am. Sorry. I'm just now learning about my father being alive.
I'm sorry, Major, though I hope you understand why this had to be kept in the strictest confidence. Would you like a moment?
No, bruv.
I'll be
Man
fine.
up, fam. Let's go.
We've been having similar debates ourselves. It's only the captain who has yet to share.
I see. Captain, I know this may not be your area of expertise, but we'd like to know your take on the matter. Please.
I can feel this one. While intimidating creatures, certainly, Asylees are docile and less provoked. They're honestly closer to oversized mobile scanners than deadly predators. The concern is that, while all proposed methods will be long-term efforts, the Asylees are the slowest. Slow to breed, slow to deploy. We do everything we could to accelerate that process, including mustering some of our mothballed cloning technologies. But if we do elect to use this method, we'll be doing things at the pace of a megafauna, which is not an expedient one. Infinitesimally low.
But not zero.
The chance of a starship landing on you as you sit here isn't zero, yet you still attended. Personally, my fear isn't mutation, but Terramorphs developing a resistance. But that's something our group can continue to address if we decide to take this approach, as I believe we should.
Very well.
Glad to see someone's not afraid of a little applied genetics. The science division is in full agreement.
I doubt there's another body in the galaxy that could pull it off.
Absolutely correct. There are no better hands in the galaxy for this project than ours.
Order, please. And Major Sanan? Dr. Walker, you'd find this acceptable?
The captain is normally a trustworthy source.
And, in this case, continues to be. He speaks for us all, ma'am.
Then the matter is settled. We'll begin the process immediately. Today marks day one for the United Colonies Terramorph Management Division. making you three the founding members of the TMD. As befits such a group, the Cabinet wanted to display its gratitude. Today, we will be adding 3 new Class 1 citizens to our ranks.
Class 1? For the 3 of us? Are you joking?
What he means to say is, thank you, ma'am.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
It's a status reserved only for those who've dedicated their lives to the United Colonies, or done great things for its cause. Class 1s enjoy an ample credit disbursement, an additional reduction on the cost of colonial goods. And I'm told the penthouse is...
Jeez!
Then I expect you'll be quite... Now, there's much to be done. Major Sanan, Dr. Walker, I hope you two are willing to continue your efforts.
We'd be honored, ma'am.
As for you, Captain, the Vanguard will be providing much of the on-the-ground support. As a member of both the Vanguard and the TMD, I believe you'll have... Speak to your commander. He should be able to provide you with assignments going forward. On behalf of the whole of the United Colony, this meeting is adjourned.
Something to report?
was much cheaper. Got the mortgage approval signed and ready. So many of the floor plans are cookie cutter.
Ugh, Sidonia. Check your suit seals. Martian dust gets everywhere.
Something happened. My buddy Mitch keeps asking if I can help him out.
If you're here to buy yours... wouldn't be the first. Oh, don't give me that look. I'm just having a laugh. Aurora, huh? Nice. A little too hot to handle, though.
The Trade Authority
All I'm going to point at is the ceiling, with my middle finger. Get that stuff out of here before UC security catches on. Of course, if there's a finder's fee you're offering, well then, we have...
Hey.
You bring me that finder's... You know, it's funny.
Well.
There's a buddy of mine. If he isn't Oh!
Watch out for the robots.
Unless you're here to serve me another drink, you can turn around and walk away.
It's not...
Hey, why don't you say that a little louder? I don't think every single UC guard in Sidonia heard you. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think if you've got a whole... right down to business.
Well, this is utterly...
Now listen up, because I'm not going to repeat myself. I probably spent... Feel free to throw his name's... Don't worry.
Yeah, what is it?
Shouldn't you be leaning on fielding by now? What? Get there! Just because I kicked a...
Crime's at an all-time low
something I... Adler Camp. Adler, you said? Look.
Adler. Oh, I told him I'd.
Look.
Perhaps he's already.
Holy... Thank you.
You've got something for me? When you have a few moments, there's something I'd like to discuss.
Ever been to a key?
Thanks for taking time. I received a message from.
Cooler than anything we've got.
No, it's not. It's just a list of requests. Things I would normally handle if I was there. Something like that. Before I joined Constellation. If you want to help, I feel like I need to give you some background. Yeah, sure. You see, the top brass demanded press-worthy at the end of the day. Oh, like hell, you once told me that I failed. If I had... That's just it, though. Did I push too hard? Well, that brings us to this message now, doesn't it? Call it whatever you want. It elevates. Yes, if it's obvious to... Oh my god. You... Look, it's clear. Please, it's not... But thank...
Don't be caught on Martian surface without proper protection.
An unnamed tracker opened fire on their mark in the middle of a...
They'll laugh at their own jokes. Like you aren't funny.
Always nice to kick back at the broken spear after a long day.
What's up? Have something for me? Fair, but he going to be nice. You know, you think you could. All right. I'll head out to your room. Oh.
Yeah, what is it? Our suit seals hold. Otherwise, we won't last long in this environment.
picked up. Captain?
Wow. Look who finally had the guts to show up. Looks like so. Big shot. I hear Adler thinks you're good enough to join our crew. We'll see. When the waters get deep, it's sink or swim. So, before I put you to work, let's get everything out in the open. I don't know if Adler mentioned it, and for his sake, I hope he hasn't. But you aren't about to sign up with any average pirate crew. You're signing up with the Crimson Fleet. That's if you get through this little task I have planned for you. There's a medical supply ship called the Ragana, jumping into Enceladus's orbit. On board that ship, you'll find a traitor named Austin Rake. I want him dead. It's done. Head back here when you're finished. And don't keep me waiting for long.
So that's the notorious Nova Mora. I have to say, if she's the finest that the Crimson Fleet has to offer, joining them might be a terrible mistake.
Rake used to run with the fleet. Hell, I'm the one who vouched for him in the first place. Back then he had a different name and a different identity. He was a damn good earner, too. Brought in a ton of creds. Everything was fine until he wanted out. So he ran. And nobody runs away from the fleet.